How many times have you done everything right, only to watch her choose someone who didn't seem to deserve her? Here's the uncomfortable truth you need to hear. Attraction doesn't care about fairness. Neuroscience reveals that 92% of women admit to being powerfully drawn to men who weren't good for them, proving desire operates on a primal level beyond logic. What if I told you there are specific psychological triggers that bypass her rational mind and create unstoppable attraction? Today, I'm revealing the 10 most powerful ones, from the exact touch that releases bonding hormones to the tone of voice that spikes her interest instantly. These aren't cheap tricks, but fundamental laws of human psychology that explain why nice guys finish last and how you can flip the script completely. By the time we reach number 5, you'll understand why playing hard to get works better than you imagined, how to create addictive emotional tension, and why women secretly crave men who trigger their surrender response. The first secret starts with something called skin hunger, a biological phenomenon that explains why the right kind of touch can make her forget every other man's name. Let me tell you about the most underestimated weapon in your arsenal, your touch. Most men either don't touch women at all out of fear, or they do it all wrong, grabbing, groping, being obvious. But here's what you're missing. There's a scientific reason why the right kind of touch makes women melt in ways words never could. It's called skin hunger, a biological need for connection that's hardwired into every human being. When you lightly brush her lower back as you guide her through a door, when your fingers graze her wrist as you make a point, when you casually fix that strand of hair falling across her face, these aren't just random gestures. They're strategic moves that trigger oxytocin release in her brain, the same bonding hormone that creates attachment between mothers and babies. The key is in the subtlety. It should feel natural, unforced, like you're not even thinking about it. Watch how she responds when you do this right. Her pupils will dilate. Her breathing will change. She'll start mirroring your movements. This isn't some pickup artist nonsense. This is neuroscience in action. The most powerful part, she won't even realize why she's suddenly so drawn to you, only that she is. And here's the kicker. Most men are so afraid of crossing lines that they never even try, leaving the field wide open for you. But remember, this isn't about being creepy or invasive. It's about understanding that attraction isn't just visual or verbal, it's tactile. Your hands can communicate confidence better than any words ever could. The men who understand this, they don't chase women, women chase them. Because while other guys are busy trying to impress her with their words, you're speaking directly to her nervous system in a language she can't ignore. Now let's talk about the forbidden effect, why women want what they can't have. You've seen it happen. The guy who's always available gets taken for granted, while the one who's slightly out of reach becomes irresistible. This isn't some cruel joke of nature. It's hardwired human psychology called the scarcity principle. When something feels rare or limited, our brains assign it more value automatically. Think about it. Why do collectors pay millions for rare paintings? Why do people line up for limited edition sneakers? That same wiring applies to attraction. When you're always texting back immediately, always free when she calls, always putting her first, you're telling her brain you're common, not valuable. But when you have your own mission, your own schedule, your own standards, suddenly she starts wondering why you're not chasing her like other guys do. The magic happens in that space between attention and absence, where she has just enough of you to want more, but never enough to feel completely secure. This isn't about playing games. It's about understanding that attraction grows in uncertainty, not in comfort. The moment she feels she might lose you is the moment she starts fighting to keep you. And here's the beautiful part. This isn't manipulation. It's simply you refusing to make her the center of your universe. Because the tragic truth is that the more available you make yourself, the less she'll value your presence. But when you become the man who's focused on his purpose first, who doesn't drop everything for her, who maintains an air of quiet mystery, that's when she'll start dropping everything for you. Not because you tricked her, because you've shown her what truly valuable looks like. Let's shatter another myth. Women don't actually want constant stability and predictability, no matter what they claim. Deep down, they crave emotional electricity, that thrilling roller coaster of highs and lows that makes them feel truly alive. Neuroscience proves this dopamine, the addiction chemical, spikes hardest when rewards are unpredictable. Think about slot machines. People don't get hooked on consistently winning. They get hooked on not knowing when the next win will come. This same principle applies to attraction. When you're always the same nice, dependable guy, she might appreciate you. She'll never crave you. But when you're the man who can make her laugh uncontrollably one moment and then challenge her the next, who's warm and engaged sometimes and mysterious at others, that's when she becomes addicted to figuring you out. This isn't about being moody or manipulative. It's about understanding that comfort kills passion. The most magnetic men know how to create emotional contrast. They're not afraid to tease her playfully, then pull back slightly, to be intensely present one day and focused on their mission the next. This creates what psychologists call intermittent reinforcement, the most powerful psychological hook there is. She'll tell herself she wants a guy who's always there, always sweet, always predictable, but her body will betray her by responding to the man who keeps her slightly off balance in the most thrilling way. Because here's the truth no one tells you: women don't fall in love with stability, they fall in love with the feelings you make them experience. And nothing creates stronger feelings than not knowing exactly what to expect next. Now let's talk about the hidden weapon you carry everywhere: your voice. Most men never realize that how they speak matters far more than what they say. Studies from the University of Aberdeen prove women are biologically wired to respond to deep, controlled voices. They signal dominance, confidence, and genetic superiority on a primal level. But here's what really separates the amateurs from the masters. It's not just about pitch, it's about rhythm. Nervous men rush their words, desperate to fill silence. Weak men mumble, as if apologizing for speaking. But the man who knows his worth, he speaks like he's got all the time in the world, pausing deliberately, letting his words land, lowering his tone at the end of sentences to project unwavering certainty. Picture this when you lean in close and drop your voice to a near whisper. She has to physically move closer to hear you, creating intimacy without even trying. When you slow your speech during tension, you magnify every word's impact. And when you master the art of strategic silence, letting her sit with anticipation between your sentences, you transform ordinary conversation into an emotional experience. This isn't about faking some movie star voice. It's about removing the hesitation, the uptalk, the nervous laughter that silently scream insecurity. Your voice should move through the world like a rolling thunder, not loud, but impossible to ignore. Because while other guys are shouting to be heard, you'll have women leaning in closer, hanging on your every word, their heart rates spiking with every controlled syllable. That's the power of a voice that doesn't ask for attention. It commands it. Let's expose one of the most powerful yet misunderstood forces in attraction: female competition. Here's a hard truth: a woman's desire isn't just about you. It's about how other women perceive you. Evolutionary psychology shows us that women are biologically programmed to want what other women want. It's called mate choice copying, and it's why high-status men never struggle for attention. Think about it. When's the last time you saw a woman obsessed with a man who had no options? Exactly. But when she senses other women want you, when she catches lingering glances from strangers or hears friends mention your name, something primal clicks in her brain. Suddenly, you're not just another guy, you're a proven commodity, a man worth fighting for. This isn't about bragging or fake displays, it's about subtle social proof. The way you carry yourself when other women are present, the slight smile you give the waitress that makes her blush, the way you mention being busy without explaining why, these unconscious signals scream value louder than any boast ever could. Because here's what women will never admit: Nothing ignites their competitive drive like seeing another woman's interest. It triggers what psychologists call the rival effect, transforming mild attraction into an obsession overnight. The men who understand this don't chase, they become the prize by simply living as if they already are won. Not by being arrogant, but by moving through the world with the quiet confidence of a man who knows his worth isn't determined by any single woman's opinion. That's when the magic happens. When she starts wondering why you haven't texted back, why you're not like other guys, why she can't stop thinking about you. Not because you played games, but because you understood the oldest rule of human nature: we want what others want first. Gentlemen, here's the raw truth you've been waiting for. Attraction isn't luck, it's strategy. You've just unlocked the 10 psychological triggers that separate the men women settle for from the men they fight for. This isn't theory, it's biology. The touch that bonds, the voice that commands, the scarcity that addicts. These aren't tricks, they're laws of nature. And right now, you're standing at a crossroads. You can close this video and go back to being the nice guy who finishes last, or you can step into the reality where women chase you, crave your attention, and remember your name long after you've left the room. The choice is brutal, but simple. Keep doing what hasn't worked, or start applying what always does. If you're ready to transform from invisible to irresistible, to stop begging for scraps of attention and start commanding genuine desire, then hit subscribe right now. Because this was just the beginning. Tomorrow's video reveals the exact phrases that trigger emotional obsession. A hint, it's not a "hey beautiful." These secrets aren't for everyone, they're only for men ready to evolve. So ask yourself, are you content being the man women say they want? Or are you ready to become the man they can't resist? The clock's ticking, gentlemen. Your future self is waiting. Smash that subscribe button and let's begin